Hey, hey, turkeys. How's it going on this beautiful Monday, January 31st? Like it makes a difference. You guys are going to find today that I'm in rare form. I have been for a while. So, hey, Chastity. Hey, Brigitte. Hey, Victor. How's everybody doing? We're going to be talking a lot tonight about the energetic that's kind of passing through. It's kind of long standing, this thing. It started back with the Grand Conjunction and it's been building, building, building. And I don't know if you guys remember me telling y'all way back, even just before the summer, I said this thing's like a tidal wave, right? It's just building energy, building energy. And we're not at the crest yet, but we're peaking. We're starting to hit that peak point where we're coming up over it a little bit, and it's intense. Rachel and I were talking about it a lot last night after her show, just about how we're all feeling and going through it. And it is something else. One other message before I forget. Victor is going to be stepping out for a little while. He's got work engagements, so he will not be airing tomorrow, and he won't be on for an indefinite period. We're not sure how long. He's not leaving the network, but he's got to step back for just a little bit. He's got a lot going on with work. So we will wish Victor well in his journey, and he will be missed on the screen, even though he will be in chat. So, Victor, we will miss you. But yeah, so, I'm looking good. Thanks. I got bedhead today. This is called I Don't Care, right? I've been in crazy mode. So, yeah, let's talk a little bit. I know my hair's always up, right, Carol? It is what it is. Let's get into it a little bit because so Rachel and I were talking about it last night, and I said to her, "Hey, Sandy, one of the things that's been bothering me the most is just this feeling of hopelessness. Do you know what I mean? Like I've missed a train. Like it's too late. Like what's the point?" And I've been in that energetic now, getting consistently worse for a while, and so if I'm going through it, I know a lot of you are going through it too. And I want to make sure that we have a platform to talk about it because it seems to be hitting my girls way more than it's hitting my guys. If you ladies have noticed that you are having a lot more pain in your lower region, and you know where I'm talking about, from your large intestine down, these are some of the things that I'm hearing. And it's a lot of bloating and irritability. It feels like PMS or like being in labor. That's the best way I can describe it. I said to Rachel last night, I feel like I'm in labor and I feel like I just can't give birth, right? Like I'm stuck in perpetual labor. I'm tired, I'm irritated, I'm in pain, and I just couldn't figure out what was going on. And it's the energetic that's moving through. I think we're feeling the loss for a lot of women. I think because women are so in tune with their bodies and the natural world, I think that we're just feeling a big loss, and I'm hoping that this is going to pass really soon. But in the instant that it doesn't, we're going to muddle through, my ladies. We're just going to muddle through. So, questions tonight, comments tonight. We're going to dig into this, and I hope you guys are going to dig deep. I'm going to be pulling from the tarot deck, as you guys know, for everybody that's, and I think everybody in here right now has been here before. And then I will give you guys just reads as a medium, right? So we'll try to work through and get as many answers as we can. Brigitte, yeah, Carol, 100%. I'm telling you, Vic and I were talking about it today too. And I said, it's just the most overwhelming feeling. Like I just don't have any desire to change anything right now because I just don't see the point. And it's not depression. I'm not depressed, but it's this feeling of just incredible loss. I don't know how it's to explain it. So that's where it is. So if I'm bitchy more than usual, my apologies, but this is where we are right now. So let me pull one card for the collective here tonight. This is a 15 card reducing down to a 6, and this one is called the Dust Devil. It's moving out of stagnation. Boy, do I hope this is the damn truth. I hope this is not the universe pulling my literal leg or my metaphorical leg, but here it is. It's Dust Devil. Let's hope that this means that some of the garbage we've all been feeling is going to lighten up a little bit for the love of Mary and sweet 6-pound baby Jesus and all that is holy. Please, I don't care if it's Catholic Jesus, German Jesus, Protestant Jesus, I don't care. Somebody's got to lift the stagnation, right? This is getting just unbearable. Hey, Miss Dawn. So let's hope that on the collective end, that is what's happening. Let's hope that things are about to start lifting off of us. I really, really hope so. I was going to open up with the energy report for February is we're fucked, but it didn't seem appropriate. I just said it anyway. I don't want everybody to get stuck in that mindset of that we cannot correct things within ourselves. We absolutely can. But I think it's really challenging right now. It's really challenging. And I think if there ever was a time that we ladies were going to lean on each other to kind of vent, it's now. So if you've got someone you can call and vent freely with who doesn't take it personally, take advantage of that for sure. I have a few people I can call and vent to, but I'm so weird that I just tuck myself into my shell and I don't vent because I don't want to put anything negative out in the world. But I guess I just did it anyway, didn't I? Damn. Mission fail, complete mission fail. I suck at my job. That's it. All right. Well, it's been good seeing you guys. I'm going to end the broadcast. I'm joking. I'm not going to end the broadcast. But let's jump into it. Anybody have any questions or anybody want to read anything I can help anybody with? I saw last night you guys were having a good one with Rachel. That was a really good show she had last night. She was in the same energetic. I know some of you guys were, but let's see where y'all are tonight. I'm hoping that we are going to have some good messages come through tonight. I know they will be. I mean, the universe is always balanced, right? It's always in our higher good. But I do know, too, that we have to go through some pretty gnarly stuff to push through the other side. Humans are pretty stubborn. So Carol would like a read. Absolutely, my darling. Let's jump right in and see where we are. Ooh, this is a new one, Carol. I haven't seen this one before. This is a 13 going to a 4. You can take the 4 however you would like to take it. I see 4 as a lot of death and renewal, a lot of change, okay? And this one is called the Dream Thief. It's the refusal of the call. Isn't that a cool card? So like you're getting messages, but you have kind of locked yourself out, like what I was saying with myself, right? Like we've intentionally disconnected. So you're locking yourself out from getting the messages that universe is trying to send to you. And I don't know why the word creator comes up so much, because it feels like you've lost faith in humanity to a degree. I also get that. But it's kind of beckoning you to connect back to earth energy, back to the creator, to remember that you're here, that you are here for a reason. We're not just floating around. We've just been sold a lie that we're kind of buying into. But that's what it feels like to me. And it's all about you kind of completing tasks too, because this is about letting go of control so that something can just be finished, right? Sometimes we just have to do a mic drop and just say, yeah, I'm kind of done. Like it's whatever, without there being a winner or a loser or a right or a wrong in the situation, except for Gracie. You want to come lay down, madam? Your energy's not helping anybody. I'm going to pull a card for you in a minute, and it's going to say, shut up, dog. Right? Sorry. She's a hot mess. Grace, come lay down. But that's what I see is it's kind of like a drop mic. And it's in order to get the movement going, you just have to completely let go. Because it's almost like you're holding on to an old mindset, like you've reverted back into it because of the reasoning for you would be because of the actions of other people. But it's actually something that we're all doing. I mean, tonight's really collective in the way that I think that the readings are going to go. It's a very collective energy and space that we're in. So, Carol, try to I'm not even going to use the word release, but just F it, right? Screw it. Doesn't matter. Put it down. Put it all down. Like go tonight to bed and say, I'm good. I don't need to hold any of this anymore. I mean, it's like you're a bookshelf, right? You're just holding all these stories for other people. Let it go. Everything's going to be fine. Okay, let's see. Sandy, would you say if you hold that in, girl, it's going to blow up? It will, but we're all right there. Listen, we're all a ticking time bomb right now. We really, really are. And I think the thing that's alarming about that when the women get this way, when we get discouraged and lose faith, is our men rely on us for compassionate connection and an example of how to move gracefully through things. And if we can't do that, what the hell are they going to do, right? Like we have to try to get ourselves back in line and kind of hold strong for them. Okay, Miss Chastity, you would like a read? Absolutely. All right. Chastity, you got a 53. That is going to come down to an 8, and it's stranger or curiosity. However, it's inverted. Okay. This is about you kind of being in that shell too, like, I'm good. I don't need anything new, not going to attract anything. I can almost hear you saying that, like, screw intention. My intention is to be left alone. I don't want to be bothered with anything, right? And that's what it feels like with you. It feels like you're just like, I've got all I can handle. That I understand too. I understand that aspect. I had to have that conversation with an acquaintance today, and I said, it's not that I don't care about you. It's just I don't have room right now emotionally for anything else, right? And it feels like that's kind of where you are too. It's all about you kind of overanalyzing the details of people too, like being kind of analytical, really taking every little detail and maybe creating a narrative that helps you separate from them because you really don't want people in your space right now. That's fine. Just be careful not to believe the narrative that you're setting up because we don't want to turn that into a reality, right? Sometimes we need those narratives. As long as we don't force them into reality, it's okay. But it kind of feels like that, right? It feels like you're just like, yeah, that person's an a-hole, right? Maybe the person didn't even really do anything that bad, but you're like, I don't trust you. I don't need you in my life. So you're intentionally creating storylines to push people out of the way. Better just to reclaim the space, right? Just to reclaim the space, sit quietly in it and let it be instead of creating a narrative that might be harmful to somebody unintentionally, because I know that would never be your intention. Well, I shouldn't say that. I think sometimes you would love to jack slap somebody, but then I can say that for all of us, right? There's days when you just want to take off a flip flop and whack a mole. I'm having one of those days today. I would like to whack Gracie a lot. She's been on my nerves for a hot minute, but I'm not going to do it because I love her. I'm just going to create a storyline where she goes to sleep and quits raising hell all day. Oh, holy camole. Anyway, I hope that helps, Destiny. Sorry, Destiny. Hey, Destiny, I just saw your name. I hope that helps out a lot, Chastity, because that's really what I feel with you. It's just like you trying to close yourself off in four walls to keep everything out because you just can't take on anymore. That's okay. Just be careful with your storylines. Would you say, well, I did leave the younger guy because he was talking to other girls? I mean, people are gonna. Right, they're gonna. I think a lot of people right now are just talking to people in general because they're trying to fill anything. Right? But just be careful with it, is all I'm saying. Just be really careful with it. We have to make sure that we're not creating a storyline that isn't true. Like you said, facts. There are facts and then there are storylines. So let's just watch that. All right, let's see. Where in the heck am I at? Dawn R. Cecil. How are you, Miss Dawn? So glad you're here. You love a reading when presented? Absolutely, I will present right now. Okay, you have got a 29 card that is going to go down to an 11 and then down to, or is that right? Yeah, 11 and down to a 2. So this is all about you and someone very close to you. This would be a significant other or a child, but someone who's really, really close to you. And this one is called the horned cactus, resourcefulness. You know, it's funny with this one because the first thing I pick up is not that you. It has nothing to do with your ability to be resourceful. It has to do with everybody else's ability to rely on your resourcefulness, which means that it's really daunting. Sometimes that people around you don't have enough common sense to wipe their own rear end, and I get it. They just lean on you so much, right? It can be really aggravating. And I think we're, again, in this shift that we're going through as women right now, we're kind of cutting the apron strings and, pulling up a muscle and getting kind of like, hey, go do it your damn self. And there's nothing wrong with that. You need to take some of the pressure off of yourself. I think you carry way too much for other people. It's kind of, you need to shed a little weight, right? Like maybe 270 pounds worth of weight. You go calculate the weight of the people that you're with all the day and figure out what 270 is and shed that for a hot minute, right? Just tell them to get up, give them a list of what they got to do, but tell them to get off their butts and take care of some stuff. You need a break. Physically, you need a break. Well, I see a lot of stress in your hips and your legs. For me, it looks like they're just tired. They're just tired. I'm not sure if that's what a lot of us are feeling, if you heard that in the part of the show, or if it's just from you carrying all of the weight, literally. But that is what it feels like for me. Absolutely. Oh, hang on. Let me jump down here so I can see. A little less weight would be good. Honey, go get it. I'm telling you something. I would be Richard Simmons in the crap out of that place. It would be like exercise exorcism around there. I would be splashing holy water at people in a squirt gun or just straight out and saving yourself. Right? It's okay to save yourself. Absolutely. We have to right now because we're all just kind of backed into a corner, right? It's like backing a bear into a cave, man. At some point it's coming out. And I feel like we girls have been backing up for such a long time and kind of eating shiza with a silver spoon that we're just getting to the point where we're full, right? We're going to regurgitate or vomit or come out with nails scratching and fighting, but we're just kind of there. All right. Brigitte, you're doing better. You're determined to make it through the screaming and run out and get out of your way. Yeah, I'm with you. Just get out of your own way. I'm with you on that 100%. Victor and I were talking a lot about that today, and I was really like open and expressing with him what all's going on with me and how I'm feeling about it. We do have to get out of our own way. I'm not sure where the way is yet, right? Until I can see a clear path, I just kind of sit still. If you're getting visions of what that path looks like for you, or if any of you guys are, hell, run towards it, right? Go towards the light. Carol Ann, that's all I can say. Go towards the light. But for me, I'm just not, right? I'm just sitting in my little space and keeping it chill and trying to not interact too much because one, I don't want to be an a-hole. And two, I don't want this feeling to get worse. So I'm just kind of desensitizing myself by distancing myself. I can't remember the term that I used today, but I told Victor it was a good one. I always forget them. I say it randomly and then I can't remember it. I need to write a book or something or trademark this crap. Sandy, hey Gracie. Gracie's happy, Sandy. I think she knows that you wrote the message. She looked like she was staring down the camera. Let's see. Brigitte, you've been there but pulled yourself up by the bootstraps. Keep pulling. Everybody keep pulling. I mean, that's what we got to do. It's tough. That's all I'm saying. Destiny, I said, hey, didn't I? Hey, Megan, how you doing, sweetie? Can you have a read? Absolutely you can, sweet girl. Let's see what we got. Man, we're going to get it tonight, y'all. Y'all might want to get some bootstraps and some Vaseline and one of those blow-up pillows you use when you got hemorrhoids, because I'm telling you, the way these cards are rolling, my ass is already sore. All right, this is a 35 card, which is an 8. It is inverted, but I'm going to tell you what it is. It's the lost compass. It's getting back to integrity, but it's inverted. Here we go. This is all about those conversations you're having all day to yourself and in the car of what in the hell is wrong with people? What in the hell has happened to people? Why has everybody lost their mind? It's that being disgusted with the behavior and the lack of consciousness that we're seeing in people. Because, man, let me tell you, it has reached an all-time epidemic high. They need to be vaccinating people for being dumbasses instead of COVID. It's out of control. I'm just here to tell you. But I can hear you literally saying that. It's just completely being disgruntled. And it's, part of that is that we start getting a little older. And of course, our opinions change on the world, right? We become more conservative the older we get. I know that's weird to say, but it is. I don't mean conservative in the political sense. I just mean conservative in the way that we protect and covet what is ours, right? Ourselves, our things, our home, our peace, all of those things. With you, it's kind of like you just want to be with people that you've known for a long time or around older people or people that inspire you to keep it a little more simple and to take it a little bit easier, but like just keeping it real. I mean, it's a shame, isn't it, that our grandparents are gone, these people that went through the Depression and wartime, because they went through what we're building up to now. And they came through it on the other side. Amazing people. Do you know what I mean? Optimistic people. For the most part, happy people coming out of crazy adversity. And what a shame we don't have them here now to kind of walk us through this and say, hey, kid, it's going to be all right. I think my mourning is a little bit for that. I wish my grandparents were here to just sit on the porch with me and say, don't get your panties in a wad. It's going to be fine. It would make a life a lot easier. But that's with you, Megan, it kind of feels for me like it's just that. Like you need reassuring communication with people to kind of counterbalance what you're seeing in real time in the world that makes you feel sad and ill. So it's just trying to get those conversations. I know it's weird to walk up and talk to strangers, but I think any much older person that you get into contact with, you should just sit down and have a cup of coffee if you can take the time to do it, or have a tea, or strike up a conversation and kind of see where it goes. I think the older people get, the more they realize how much of this reality is just complete BS and that things are really temporary. It's just right now they feel scary and kind of permanent. But try to have conversations with a lot of older people and see if you can't release some of that. Or maybe you want to go work at the CDC and if you can create an inoculation for stupidity. I'm good either way, right? Like if you go that direction, let me know. My kid works at the CDC. He can probably hook you up. Be awesome. I would just randomly be shooting people in the ass with that thing, instead of keying cars in the parking lot. Not that I've ever done that, but I would just randomly be vaccinating people in stores. It would be awesome. Can't you imagine going down the aisle at Walmart, just jabbing people in the assholes? Woo, scusi. I love it. I would also speak in Italian and pretend I don't speak English. That would save me for sure. Okay, what else have we got? I'm just rambling tonight, huh? Rambling Jenny. Oh, my Lord. Let's see. Dawn, you're laughing at me. I'm a goofball tonight. Dawn said it. Well, it's also the last thing you want to put up or to put out and have come back tenfold. It's true. I mean, all of this energy is something we don't want to push it on other people, but that was the conversation I had with Victor today. I said, do we hold this in and hurt ourselves, or do we just unleash it? I think at this point, if we don't unleash it, we're just not going to get it out of our system and we're not going to get anywhere. Hey, Miss Tiffany. Nice to see you, Tiffany. I think you're new. If you are, welcome to the program. I'm not sure I've seen you in before, but it's really nice to see you here. All right, Miss Destiny. You would like a read? Absolutely, my darling. Let me pull a card for you. So the first card that I'm going to pull for you, Destiny, is one of the tarot cards. It's kind of the theme of where your reading is going to go. And it's a 43, which reduces down to a 7. I like 7s. I've got a lot of 7s in my world. But this is about overflow. It's overwhelm and plenty. Okay? It's right side up. So this is good. For you, I think it's all about too much information sometimes. I think it's not plenty and overwhelm in the sense of material things. I think it's more overwhelm in the sense of emotional things. It's like playing racquetball, right? Like everybody's emotions, and you're just trying to swat them, like ricochet it off the wall. That's what it feels like to me. It feels like there's a thing where you're like, oh my God, I just feel, I don't know, like almost like you're transforming, like you're losing your old self and kind of coming into a new self. Because I feel an awakening for you, like a spiritual journey coming up for you. And it feels like you've been coming in that for a while. I don't know why I'm getting the number 35, but for whatever reason, that number comes in. But it feels like you're really attuning more into spirituality and trying to carry yourself off in that world, not to get lost in the other, because the other with everybody's emotions can be really challenging and really heavy. So keep playing racquetball, right? When somebody's throwing a shit sandwich, you just whack it out of the way, and everything's going to be fine. But I'm excited about the journey you're going on. You're getting to a point now, and I think sometimes you worry that you don't stick to things enough, that you're not grounded enough, or that you don't have the fortitude to stay with it, but you do. I think you have a lot more grounding in you than you realize. I think it's just that you've been more fantastical and whimsical and lighthearted more of your life, right? More prone to fantasy, which is not a bad thing. Fantasy is a beautiful thing. That's the creative part of us. But I think you're coming into like a harmonic balance with all of this. So I feel like a really big shift for you. So good for you. When you get on whatever high you're getting on, please come and spread that infectiously through the entire network, because God knows we can all use some more of that. Telling you all day long. Now, Destiny, if I did not answer a question for you, you guys know you can ask very direct questions. I'm super, super good with that. And that way I can get more detailed. So if I haven't answered anybody's question that they were hoping to get answered, just ask it again. I'll get it taken care of. No worries. Let's see. What else have we got going on? Miss Tiffany would like a reading as well. Absolutely. And I see Mika's in the house somewhere, just because I see Brigitte saying, hey, Mika. Cindy, I will absolutely get to you. Megan said, yes, she worked in healthcare through COVID. More and more each day, you don't have any patience for younger people. I can feel it. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, but I think, we all go through that. It's just a natural pattern of life. We're kind of we have to go through that to break away from the generation that we're walking out of, like the mindset of that generation. It can be really difficult sometimes, but, it is what it is. We always have to have some kind of catalyst to push us out. All right, Miss Tiffany, let me see what I can get for you, my darling. Ooh, you got a good card. You got a 61, which comes down to a 7, and this one is called Will Song. It's all about resonating, right? It's all about energetic resonation and resonating with source and resonating with who you are at the core. So you're also going through what I would see as like a second phase or um yeah, like a second phase, a second movement in your spiritual growth, almost like puberty, right? You go through these small phases in life where we're children, then we go through puberty and we get into our childbearing years, and you're like in that second phase of things where you're really trying to align yourself intentionally with all things good, especially like professionally. You strike me as somebody who, if you're not already, should be working for yourself. You have a real flair for um, ingenuity, for creativity, for being a sole proprietor in something. I don't see you wanting to work with a lot of other people. I think you need to be in charge of things more. And I think you're good at that. I think it's kind of harnessing all that and all of this growth that you're doing. There's also a lot for you where it's about building security at home and building security for your family. And that seems to be like a big underlying theme for you. So the big movements I see with you are always associated with how much you love other people and how much you want to do for them. Um, so yes, stay on that. You're going to have some real breakthroughs. There's no doubt about that. I also get a date, which doesn't happen all the time, but for some reason, February 17th stands out for me with you. It looks like that's going to be a day where you get some news that propels you to transform even more. It's going to be something that just kind of pushes you a little further down the road. Now, this is not going to be life-changing news, but it's going to be path-changing news, maybe a little bit. So make sure after the 17th, when this goes down, that you get back on and let me know what happened. Let us all know, because we're always happy to see our sisters pushing forward and getting where they need to be. But this is all about you pulling strength, you being out on your own in the world, you expressing your uniqueness, your intelligence, your strength into the world, and creating your own little planet, right? Your own little space that you're happy in. That's kind of where I see things moving for you. It's really cool. Good for you. And we need to get Tiffany to throw some dice or blow on some pennies or something for us. What, blow on pennies? Where the hell did that come from? Blow on the dice. Lord help me. See, this is what happens when my hair is down. There's too much blood running around in my brain. When it's all pulled back really tight, it's less blood flow. It's probably a good thing. All right, Miss Sandy. Let's see what we got going on. Grace is having another nervous breakdown. This dog whines all day. I don't know what the hell is wrong with her. Now she's staring at me like I have the problem. You know? Che l'ho fatto tu? All right, sorry. Sandy, your card is a 6. It is inverted. It is the cosmic womb, the divine feminine. Can you see it? There we go. Girl, disconnected, like the majority of us, right? You're like, nope. Disconnexione. Here's the thing. I think the harder we push when we're in this phase, the harder it gets, because we're building resistance. And I think sometimes we just have to sit in still water and let movement happen naturally on its own. Now, I almost told a really bad joke with that, but I'm going to leave it alone. I'll tell you privately. But anyway, let things just kind of flow organically. I think with you, a lot of the times, you're a lot like me. You get anxious and those storylines kind of get going, and we start creating a universe we don't like, and then we throw on the brakes and go, whoa, what the hell, right? And that's that force. And especially when we feel disconnected, I think a lot of us do right now. I think there's some people that are waking up right now and coming into their spiritual path. I think there's a lot of people who've been in it for a really long time who feel disconnected because we're used to a different level of source. And that's kind of what I feel with you. So there's work decisions coming in. I don't know if you've been offered a job or what's going on, but there's a work decision coming in. It looks like you're going to make a new go at things, a new start at things. So I'm kind of excited to see what ramps up with that, because it looks like for me that comes for you around the 24th, like going into that third. Well, that would be almost the 4th week, wouldn't it? But it feels like it starts like ramping up this month, and it pushes really hard around that time. So I'm excited to kind of see what happens with that. I know it's time for you to kind of make some changes and to push into some things. I also see somebody new coming in, for Christ's sake. Be careful with that because it feels like it's somebody connected with work, not necessarily exactly in what would be in your work, but maybe next door or somewhere really close by. Be careful. I don't think any of us are in the position right now where we need to be attracting because we're going to attract crazy people because we're a little nutty right now. So I would be wary of that. I think it's just an exercise in the fact of that attraction is still working. That's the good news, right? But attraction is neutral. It can go in many directions. So I always say like attracts like, right, guys? Y'all know that one. We have to look at where we are and do we want to attract anything in the way that we are right now. If I were attracting someone in the condition that I'm in now, it would be somebody who just came out of a padded cell, was constipated, and probably shut dead on their luck, right? So I'm not attracting anything right now. I'm attracting sleep, peace, not having a whining dog. Those are the things I'm trying to attract. Brigitte, I'm Jenny from the block. I'm Jenny from the something, probably the cell block if I don't watch it. Girl, I got attitude all day long this week. Let me just go ahead and tell you. Dawn said, respect that getting the feeling off of your chest, if you will. I think just being cautious at how it's delivered so it's not at or toward another paper. I agree. I mean, we don't want to hit people with it, but we have to release it. That's what I'm saying. If you have a confidant or somebody that really knows you, that you can trust to vent to without it hurting them or influencing them, or maybe you preface the conversation that way of, listen, this is neutral. It's not aimed at you. And if it's too much for you, you have the right to tell me to stop and we'll quit talking about it. But I have some things I need to get out, right? And I think if you do it that way, then you can go at it with more respect for the other person and consent from them to listen. I mean, I think when you have other people's consent, it doesn't hit them. Do you know what I mean? They're aware of what it is. So let's see, Miss Destiny. Think you're going to be 35 in a couple of years? Oh, you love your reading. It makes sense. Yeah, I don't know what 35 comes up. It doesn't necessarily mean an age. I don't know why that number comes up around you, but it just does. And I wish I could tell you more what it meant, but I don't know. Sometimes I just get weird stuff like that. And that was one of the weird things, but I'm glad that you enjoyed your reading. Tiffany, you're really welcome, sweetie. I'm so happy that you came in to join us, and I hope you hang out for the rest of the show, and I hope you come in and see the other readers. We've got great people on the network, okay? Sundays, we've got Wanda. She is hysterical. She is a mountain witch. She is a psychic astrologer. Wanda is my guru. I love her. We've been friends for years. Amazing. Rachel is on Mondays, also flipping amazing, right? You're just getting a bunch of Georgia girls. Man, girl, we ain't got nothing but sass, and I don't know what. Sass. Whole lot of sass. Destiny, my dog's absolutely precious. She is the sweetest thing ever. But whatever this energy is that we've been in, it has made her crazy as well. And so we're both crazy. And right now we have a really sweet foster puppy, Sushi, although he's going to a different foster home tomorrow. And he makes her crazy as well. She is super cute. Sandy, so yeah, disconnected on all levels. I hear you, sister. I think sometimes it's okay to be disconnected. You know, you can't always leave something plugged into the wall, especially when the energy is like it is right now. For some of us, it's just too much. So if you need to stay disconnected for a hot minute, stay disconnected for a hot minute or two. Hello, Miss Cynthia Bailey. Do I do spell readings? Or do you mean like incantations? If I don't practice the craft, if that's what you mean, I don't know. I'll go down and check the comments, but that sort of thing I don't do. I'm a medium, but I don't do any kind of craft work at all. Jessie Pill, hello. It's your first time. So nice to have you in, Jessie. I'm glad you're here. Kathy Hall's also. Wow, we got a lot of new people tonight. I am so excited. If you guys want a reading, just make sure you put it in the comments here, and if you've got a specific question, let me know. Okay, be happy to get on it for you. So Kathy, you wanted to know if there's anything for you. I'm going to pull. Let's see. You're just a lost soul. Lost your husband February 22nd. Don't know what to do with that. Or February of 2022. Sorry, honey. I know what that feels like. That is not easy. I will pull what I can for you, and let's see what we got going on. Okay. I will start with pulling kind of the theme for you. It's a 27, which is a 9. And 9 is a lot about completion and cycles for us. Okay. This one's called Heart, Home, and Compassion. Can you see it? There we go. This is all about being compassionate with ourselves. And the 9 in that completion says a lot about what you're going through. I'm really sorry for your loss. I know everybody here in the chat will be as well. That's a really hard thing to go through. And feeling lost through all of that is, of course, the one thing that I pick up with this is that there was so much influence. I'm not sure if this is your son or if it was that your husband's energy was really young. It feels more like a son for me, but there's so much family influence for you that it feels like with that one piece taken out, I see why you're feeling disconnected and lost. I see why it feels, I don't know, just like walking around in a bad dream most of the time. I think it's, the hardest times are always those times when we settle down. So it's like trying to keep your mind busy, but it's always going back to him. You know what I mean? Going back to what could have been done, what couldn't have been done. And then there's also that bit of like, am I going to be okay? I mean, stability wise and emotionally, the answer is yes, you're going to be okay. I see him staying around you quite a bit. And I don't know why he talks about choking back things. I think a lot of the times maybe you have a hard time expressing yourself emotionally accurately. Let me say it that way. So it feels like it's a constant choking back of things. Although I feel like with him also, it's him kind of saying that's nothing new. She's always been kind of a tough cookie. It's always been kind of a hard layer to break in that aspect of really just kind of laying it all out there and letting it go. You tend to hold things a lot, but it also feels like for me, because there's been a lot of separation in your life. And so that makes us covet things more, right? And I get that because I lost all of my family really young. I get that. It makes us covet things. It makes us look at relationships different. It makes us honor those things more. But then there's also that fear. Do you know what I mean? That kind of drives us in that way. There's some good change coming in for you. I don't see a lot of things like ramping up for you until we get closer towards the summer. Sorry, let me get a drink. So we start going into June, you'll find your happy space. I think you do a lot better in the late spring and the early summer, but you'll find your happy space again. Things will start lightening up a little bit. And I think he's going to come on the other side to kind of help you with that. I know Valentine's Day is coming up and he would send you a heart if he could, although he's not great at that stuff, but he said he does like to remember little things like that. I think you'll feel his presence around a lot at that time. Sorry, I'm just trying to get the messages without Gracie coming through. There's someone on the other side with him, and I don't know why I want to say it's like a CO name, like Connie or Constance, but I get somebody pulling with him also there. He's fine. Just open up a little bit more. Do you know what I mean? If it's welling up, if you feel like you're choking on things a little bit, or if you need to say things to certain people, you need to go ahead and say it, okay? That's the best that I can say with that. And I'm sorry I can't do a longer read on it. I would love to. If I had more than an hour, I absolutely would. But I'm really sorry that you're going through that. Let's see. What have we got going on? Sandy, your dog's been a mess too. I'm telling you, they all are. Hey, Mika, I didn't see you up top, but I'm glad that you said something about it now. Mary, Greg, I see you as well. I will jump in with you, sweetie. All right, Miss Mika, let's see what we got going on. You've got a 19 card, which is a 10. It comes back down to a 1, which is all about you. This card is called Falling Angel, Spiritual Narcolepsy. It is inverted. So you're actually on fire. I would say you're probably getting a lot of downloads at night. If you're waking up a lot in the middle of the night between 3 and 5 a.m., darling, I would say that you are getting messages from beyond, absolutely. And there's also a certain part of you, Mika, that I think is beyond intuitive. I think you have a very strong intuition and ability to actually communicate kind of the way that I do, if you chose to do that. And I think a lot of this awakening is kind of pushing you in a way of connecting to both realms. So I feel a lot of movement in that way for you. Also financial gain. It feels like you're actually coming into a strength. It feels like you're coming into a power moment. Like the next month or two are going to be power moments for you. You're going to start getting momentum and building because it feels like it's been lagging for like the last 3 or 4 months. But now we start getting into this momentum where you can save money, where you can kind of get things a little more financially on track in a way that you want to. There's also the talk about some kind of legal situation that may be coming up for you. If it hasn't happened yet, don't freak out. I don't see this as being something bad. If it's already in movement, I will tell you that this looks like something that goes your way to benefit the better of everybody, of you and yours. And it looks like something that actually helps put you in a position where you feel more apt to handle things. So stay tuned. When you're getting the messages, maybe before you go to bed, just ask your guides to allow you to retain what you can. And try to get up and write down what you're seeing, what you're getting, because you are for sure getting information, darling. We call it downloading quite a bit. If you're waking up cold, that happens a lot, or I'm sorry, hot. That happens a lot when we're downloading. When we're uploading data, we usually feel kind of cold. So you can gauge things in that way to see which way the information's going. Okay, Miss Mary, let's see what we got for you. Mary, we've got a 62. That's an 8. It's called Will o' the Wisp. It's treasures hidden in the shadows. It is upside down. We've got a lot of inverted cards. Listen, the inversion doesn't mean that it's anything bad, okay? It just gives me a way to view what's going on. What it does tell me is that the truth is kind of standing right in front of you. If you're facing a situation where you need to start making some decisions, you are in the perfect time to start doing that. I think a lot of it has to do with health and self-care for you, and taking care of yourself. Come here. Sushi's making an appearance. Come on, bud. I think it has a lot to do with that, just like self-care and health. Yeah, I don't know why I'm getting so much of that. Like you don't spend enough time on yourself. That's the one thing I can say for sure. You don't spend enough time on yourself. There's a lot of procrastination there where you're like, I'll do it next week or I'll do it next month or whatever. But we're kind of past that point now where you have to step up and kind of face the truth about where you are and how you got here and what you're going to do to make it everything you want it to be. You see what's happening behind me? La vida. La vida. But that's what I'm seeing with you, sweetie. I'm going to pull one more card just because I want to get a little more. This one is called the Eyes of the Eagle. It's rising above the fray. Yeah, it's time for you to really pay attention, sweetie. Look, it's time for you to kind of get direct with yourself and pay attention to the things that are going on with you, okay? And start just getting those things taken care of. Just start facing them. Maybe you want to journal it, write it all down. Sometimes it can be overwhelming to think about all the things that we need to deal with for ourselves. And sometimes we don't even know what they are until we write them down. Sometimes when we're honest, when we just put it on paper, I would give it a shot like that and see how it works out for you. I hope that helps, sweet girl. I sure do. Hey, Carol, lots of new people. I know, right? Welcome, everybody. It's awesome. Hey, Brandy. Good to see you in. Let's see what we got. You do feel them around you, Kathy? You should. You should feel them around you. Listen, here's the thing when I do crossing over stuff. Gracie, come. When I'm doing crossing over stuff, I always tell people it's like an umbilical cord, the connection that we have with them, right? At a certain point, we have to cut the pain because it holds them in a suspension of pain as well. It makes them confused. And it doesn't allow them to really process all the way through into the next experience. So that's not being said to make you feel guilty. I want you to understand what the connection is. Birth and death are exactly the same. They mimic. I mean, it's just one continuous cycle. So it can be very similar. But I feel him with you a lot too. Rose Ford, nice to see you, Rose. First time on here. Would love me to pull a card for you. Absolutely, sweetie. I would be happy to do that. Okay, the card I have for you is a 4. All right, what's a 40, but it's coming down to a 4. And this is being mindful. It's all about group thinking, right? It's all about consciousness. It's all about how to create change in the environment around you. It's about how you want to impact people around you because you have a real pull also more so as a spiritualist, more so to guide, to teach, like coaching, healing. I feel that kind of stuff around you a lot. So a lot of that's that very Mother Earth kind of energy that I pull up with you, and it's all about you um, building those connections and kind of moving forward. I also feel like you've stalled out a little bit and kind of pushing forward on projects or things that you would like to do for yourself to move yourself to the next level. Be careful with that because you've got this real soulmate energy with you, and that soulmate energy is your higher self. It's not somebody else that's constantly like loving and pushing you and nurturing you to go for it, just do it, just do it, just do it. I hear a lot of that with you. It's just like, just go for it, just go for it. So if there's something you've been putting off that you really wanted to take on, do it. It's going to help you and it's going to help other people. Okay. Don't be afraid to move forward. Just push through. I just feel healing stuff around you a lot, just a whole lot. Hey, Budster. Buster's one of Romy's friends. They play on the Xbox together. Hey, buddy. Uh-oh, you just heard a bunch of bad words. I didn't know we had kids on here. Budster, I am so sorry. If your mom's watching this, I'll apologize. I had no idea. We never have kids on the show, so I am really sorry, Budster. I will make sure not to make any more fart jokes or any bad words anymore. Very sorry. But I'm glad that you're here. Timothy, hey, nice to see you in. You're new too. My gosh, where's everybody coming from? This is crazy. I absolutely have time. Let me get you a reading, sweetie. I've got a 56 card for you, which is reduces down to 11. Then it goes into a 2. This is all about you and somebody you're close with, you and someone else. This card is called the Wall. It's all about obstacles. It's inverted, okay? So this is about getting real, getting honest, bringing down obstacles, pushing through boundaries that have been in relationships. And I think a lot of that with you, I feel like it's self-awareness. I feel like you're coming into yourself. Like you have such a fatherly energy about you, such a strong, masculine, protective energy about you that I think you're pushing through a lot of boundaries so that you can lead and guide in a stronger way. And I applaud the heck out of that. I will say that you have to not overlook details with yourself. You know, there's a thing here where we have to be so hyper aware of our own makeup. I think a lot of the times we as humans delude ourselves as to who we really are. I know I do it. Sometimes I'll be like, oh no, I'm a great person. I'm not always. Sometimes I'm a real schmuck. But we have to get kind of down and dirty. And I feel like you're doing that work. I feel like it's been slow go. It's been coming. It's been coming. I think your trust in other people will slowly start to build even more because you have a huge heart, a huge capacity for love. But I think that trust is something that's just going to expand more and more. So you're also kind of moving through this life cycle. It's funny because about half of the people in tonight are going through what I'm going through of disconnection and being stuck. And the other half are getting this burst. They're just getting this beautiful thing that's bursting them, you know, out into the stratosphere. And with you, Timothy, I kind of feel that. So I think this is just you coming into your own. You really, really are slowly, but waking up to how magnificent you actually really are. So I'm super excited. I think that's amazing. Please stay in the group. Please come back. We need that kind of male energy in here for sure. God knows. Mika, you are very welcome. Oh, Jaylene, you love what's happening behind me? Listen, it's a circus over here all day. What you don't see are the two cats that are agging it on in the background. But these two turkeys, it never, ever stops. I bought some CBD oil for Gracie because she's been so neurotic. And then I felt bad and didn't want to give it to her. So I just started taking it myself. I figured maybe I'm the problem because they're fine, right? Like they're all having the time of their life. I'm the only one sitting in the corner losing my mind. So, oh, Lord have mercy. All right, let's see what we've got going on, guys. If I've missed anybody, please let me know. Hey, Joni, good to see you, sweetie. Jaylene, you can absolutely have a card. Hey, Sherry Jewel. All right, Miss Jaylene, for you, I've got a 33, which is going to reduce down to a 6. It's called Joyful Muse and Inspiration. How funny. You're going to love this card when you see it because it's perfect. Right? This is all about the inspiration and joy that you pull out of caring for and nurturing and in those small movements and moments in life. How much they push you, how much joy you just find in those simple, quiet moments. I admire that. I love that. I wish I was that way. I'm not. Boredom and so dangerous. I'm like a can of paint, paint, spray paint, and a cigarette, even though I don't smoke. But that kind of dangerous. With you, you have this beautiful calm about you, even though your personality is a little more energetic, but you have this calm about you. I really love that. And it's really sweet. There's some new things coming in for you too. I think there's been a real lack of communication or people not keeping their word lately, like people not showing up to the plate to help you out when they said they would. Um, that's going to change. I see somebody coming in. This looks more like a group of people, like a small collective of people that are going to come in and kind of help you find success and completion in the work that you're doing. And a lot of that is just about completing the tasks that have already been there, because it looks like you've been holding on to a lot that needed to move. And that movement's going to start happening. So let's keep an eye on that. I really, really, really like the next 17 weeks for you. Look full. They look like there's going to be a lot of movement. I don't see that peaking out for at least probably another, it looks like mid-February things really get in full swing, but I see that coming in for you. So it looks like people are going to step up to the plate and keep their word and actually do what they say they're going to do. So for that, I'm super grateful, darling. It's a good read. I like that one. I like where things are going for you. Brandy, can you have a card? What is everybody with this time tonight? Of course there's time. Do you what the hell else am I going to do? I'm joking. Y'all see what's happening behind me? Why would I get off this computer? Then I got to go deal with that. There can't be three crazy in the house. So hell yeah, we're doing readings. If you guys need a card, I am here. All right, sweetie. Miss Brandy, this is for you. You have a 32 coming down to a 5. This is the jeweled web of connectivity. There we go. And unlike your mother, who's feeling disconnected right now, you are quite the opposite. You are hard plugged in into a 220 amp circuit. So brava. You are coming into a whole lot of stuff. I think what's really cool with you is I feel like that you are, it's interesting with you and your mom. I feel like you two have gained more understanding over each other in the last couple of months than maybe y'all ever had in your entire relationships. And I think where you're going now, coming into your own and starting to really find your own power and find your own strength, that brings in a certain humility that's really beautiful, that allows you to see people as just human. Do you know what I mean? No matter who they are. That's such a beautiful period in our lives when we get there. I think most women go through it when we have kids, right? We kind of start to realize that our parents are human, or that people around us are fallible, because I think for the first time in our lives, feel real guilt. Do you know what I mean? For doing anything wrong. You're going through this gorgeous, gorgeous movement with that right now. It's really beautiful to watch. And I don't know with you how things are changing in your family. I know you crave grounding, right? Like you crave stability. You want things to be very solid, to be very safe, to stay the way they are, because you've always had so much change around you. But there's kind of a whirlwind that's going to come in now that's going to shake you off your rocker just a little bit, in a good way, not in a bad way, but it's coming in to kind of refresh your cells, to try to get you to move out of some old patterns of thinking and move into some new ones. So stay really open with that. I would love to see, maybe ask for some help from other people who know more about it, but I would love to see you working more with stones, doing more grounded energy work with stones. I think that would be stunning. I need to get my comments back. They just went away. But you're on a journey, kiddo. You're on a journey, and things are going to start getting busy for you too. So I love seeing all of you guys kind of really popping into things. It's exciting. I just said that to Rich today, or to Victor today. I said, I felt really hopeless these last couple weeks. I kept thinking, if just one person could really wake up, it would make all of it worth it. If just one person really got it, it would make it all worth it. That's me projecting on other people. My happiness can't depend on other people, but it is exciting to see you guys coming in wide awake, right? Like you guys are just tuned in and ready to roll. I love it. Sherry, my dogs are like yours. Whew, girl. If that's the case, then you and I both are not going to have a liver in another year. I can tell you. I have dreams sometimes about my litter pulverizing and literally blowing up into smoke. I don't know. I don't know how much longer I can do this. I think menopause and rescue work doesn't work, or at least for this old girl, It's making me battier than I normally am. All righty. Where am I at? Where am I at? I just pulled the card. Joni. That's right. Sorry, Joni Bug. I'm trying to get back in there. Joni, I got for you a 2 card. This is the Feast of Plenty, choices and their consequences. So all about you and your connection to other people, right? It's all about things kind of coming full circle, reaping what you sow, seeing the proof in the pudding, right? So it's all of those things that are coming to fruition. It's about you mastering relationships and the reality and that you have within them, your scope of reality in them. So I think you're starting to see things more clearly where maybe you've had rose colored glasses before, or you've deluded yourself before to not lose people out of your life. But it feels like you're really, really waking up to reality. I also see change for you financially, like a job, or there's some shift financially that helps things to get a little better. So that's really good. It looks like you will have some decision making in that as well, and the possibility to kind of wrap things up for yourself to get in a position where you feel like things are kind of finalized, where you don't have to worry about things, where you can kind of, ride the slow train. I say it in that sense of like you need something that carries you through until you feel comfortable enough to say, I don't need to worry about it anymore. So that feels like it's coming in for me. So if this is a new job or a shift in job, that's shifting in. You guys are going to see a lot of forward movement. Now, I know some of it's coming in this month, but I'll be honest with you right now, it just feels like the universe is stirring the pot. I think the big burst of movement and energetic comes in after the 6th of March. Don't know why that date. I don't know. Maybe Sherry Jewel can tell you guys. But I keep getting around the 6th of March that things are going to really start popping off. So I would pay attention to that, Joni, but that's when things look like they start jumping for me. Make sure that you keep being aware, that you keep waking up, that you keep taking the glasses off when you're looking at relationships. That doesn't mean breaking relationships off, but we have to see them for what they are so we know how to function within them, right? So that's kind of where I see things going on for you. Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry. I've got something in my throat. Probably fur. I'm not even joking with y'all. Last night, I went to bed and I went and put my pajamas on, and I had a fur ball stuck to my personal self in a way that was super disgusting. I was freaking out. I was so irritated. I think I just need a vacation. I'll be okay. I'll be okay. That's what I keep telling myself. Old Scarlett O'Hara. I won't worry about that today. I'll worry about that tomorrow. All right, Miss Sherry Jewel, you have got a 5 card. This is about closing doors and completion. So Miss Sherry is coming to the end of one project and moving into another. I see Miss Sherry moving a lot more into communication work in the sense of like podcasting and radio and that sort of thing. Sherry, I know you're a lot like me. I would much prefer to be in a gallery with people. I'd like that movement of energy. Like doing lives like this are hard for me. If I had all of you guys in my living room, the mediumship would be ridiculous. It's really hard like this. And I think that's one of the things that's challenging about being a medium, Sherry, which I know you understand, is when you're working in this capacity where you can't pull from the other person's energy, you're having to do it from such a distance. But I see you moving more into those realms where you're helping others and working almost and almost like a doctoring kind of capacity, mentally, emotionally with people, spiritually, energetically. Feels like a lot of distance type work. So it just feels for me like it's kind of out in the ether, right? Like it's more, like podcast, radio, lives, that sort of thing. There's a little hesitation with it, I think, sometimes, but it feels like you're combining 2 worlds right now. This feels like a combination of 2 things. I don't think that you do this all by yourself. It feels like for me, somebody's going to come in and help you with this. Somebody who can kind of do the legwork, the back work. Be interesting to see what you do. They don't feel like co-workers for me. It feels almost like a volunteer that wants to come in and help kind of push things with you. But I would love to see you interviewing people too. I think you would be a great interrogator, like in a positive way, but somebody who can ask questions really well. Some people just have that and some people don't. I answer questions really well. I can't ask questions really well in interviews, but I think you're somebody that could really pull that off. You could be like the new Barbara Walters of the metaphysical world. There it is. Barbara Wawa. Sherry, that's what it's going to be, girl. Sorry, you're going to be the Barbara Walters of the psychic world. Hi, Anya. Good to have you in. You have not had the pleasure of having a reading with me. For some reason, today is the day it is. It's absolutely possible. Everything's possible, right? If I can work with these two knuckleheads behind me, girl, I can do anything. All right, Timothy, you're very welcome. We'd love to see you back. All of you new guys in, please make sure you go over to the Ascension Network and like the page so you get updated about the shows. I created the network about 8 months ago and got my best friends in on it who I trust more than anything. And I would love to think that we're doing good work. At least we're entertaining. I'll say that. All right, Anya, let's see what we can get for you. Oh, how sweet. The puppies are playing. They never stop, Anya. It never stops. Even in the bed. Here's a good story because you guys will really love this. But when Sushi first came to us, the little one, Gracie slept on the floor in my bedroom, and I had Sushi in the bed because he was crying in the kennel. And in the middle of the night, I woke up with Grace gagging. She's got a really weak stomach, and I was trying to figure out what was going on. And I'm smelling, not good stuff. And Sushi is hanging on the edge of my bed and has literally shat on Gracie. The minute that he shat on her, she started puking. So the whole house was chaos, and it has been the same level of chaos since that little bugger came in. He's a hot mess, that one. Holy camole. Precious hot mess. Okay, Anya. Galactic mushroom is your card. That sounds fun, right? How many of you guys could get into a galactic mushroom right now? I don't know that sounds bad at all. I am totally down with that. This is a 24 card, which is going to reduce down to a 6, and it's about the divine matrix. See, that doesn't sound bad either. I would totally be cool with a galactic mushroom right now and getting down to the divine matrix, I think. I may not like what I find when I get there. But this is where you are, sweetie. This is all about, a lot of yours is about family and family relations and the people that you consider family. So all about bringing those things in really close to you, trying to firm up relationships. And it feels like for me that you're doing that all the way around, especially relationships with men. I think a lot of the situations that you find like at work or with a significant other, you're finding new ways to kind of step out and tell people what you want, how you feel about it. Feels for me like you're just kind of fed up most of the time. But it's about you really starting to make decisions about how you want things, and making those decisions is going to propel you into more success. And I'm telling you that flat out. It looks for me like that pushes you in the workplace to do better, to get promoted, to move forward. It looks like for me in the relationship sector of things, it brings you into new relationships that are going to help you really bolster who you are. People who are going to understand your spirit and your energy, because you have a really unique energy too. You have a real independence to you, a very deep-seated independence, but it is also dependent on how people receive love and if they feel loved by you. I don't know if that makes sense for you, but you have a deep need for people to know how much you love them. So sometimes you overlove people. In that independence, I think we gain that when we have a lot of experiences in life that make us feel not appreciated or abandoned or not loved enough. And so we tend to overlove people sometimes. It feels for me like that's what you've been doing, and you're kind of stepping into the light now and going, wait a minute, I don't have to do all this, right? All this isn't necessary. I've just been exerting all this energy and I didn't need to do it. Not that these people weren't worth it. They probably were. Everybody's worth the love and the time, but it's roping it back in and making sure that you're harnessing that power for yourself. So that is really cool. I'm glad to see you kind of stepping into all of that, but it doesn't like it's going to lead you into moving forward. I don't know if you've been trying to, because it kind of feels like for me, like you've been trying to get independent from everything. Like, I don't know if this is like teleworking, working from home, traveling, almost like van life, like getting out there and doing it. You've got this real streak of independence in you, this thing that wants to break free. So whatever that is, it is starting to happen, but you're going to see the fruits of that really, really popping hard over the next 6 months. So get ready, sweet girl, put on your seatbelt and keep a journal of it and see what's going on. Okay. Sherry, the pups are keeping everything busy. They are. Everything. Everything. I guess they're keeping the energy high, right? Jaylene, you're very welcome, sweetheart. Hi, Chris Lee. How are we doing? I'm so glad you guys are in here. Thank y'all for being here. Y'all brought my energy up too, because I'm telling you, woo, boy howdy. I've just been in it lately, man. I don't know. I mean, today I was kind of laughing. I was like, I guess if this doesn't work out for me, I can always be a proctologist because I'm well acquainted with assholes, right? Seems like the perfect job to roll into. Oh God, I hope Budster's not on here anymore. Earmuffs, Budster. If you're on here, earmuffs. This is an adult show. It is not PG 13, 14, or 16. I love you, buddy. Holy camole. All right. Misty, nice to have you in. Or Budster here. Oh, God, again? Hey, Misty. Oh, honey, you're going to kill me. Listen, this is another one of Romy's friends. I swear I'm not as bad as I'm coming off, guys. I just didn't realize y'all were in here. My goodness. I've really got to watch it now. Holy moly. It's good to have you in them, Misty. Thanks for stopping by. Now you know why Romy's so crazy, because he's got me as a mom. Oh, let's see. Oh, Sandy and Brandy, you guys are so cute. And Sherry's, Joni, you're welcome, sweet girl. Sherry's saying since January 1st, it's been wonky. It has been crazy. Everything's been crazy. Pearl, where's my wine? Girl, I'm out. Do you want to hear the worst thing ever? This is just the topper on the cake. About a month and a half ago, I was not in a good mood, and I guess I projected some pretty gnarly energy, but my entire wine cabinet came off the wall, and every wine glass and all of my wine and all of my high-end olive oil busted in the floor. And I have literally not gone and bought another wine glass because I can't stand to be out in public. There you go. So now I drink out of my Walmart school glass because I'm keeping it classy like that. Somebody's got to bring the class to this network. If the kids weren't on here, I'd tell y'all what I put in class. It's the last three letters. They'll figure that out. All right, let's see. Brandy, I hit the nail on the head. Good. Miss Pearl, Pearl, is it too late for a reading? And Dawn was wondering where my wine glasses do. What in the world? Yeah, I guess y'all got a point. I usually do have a wine glass, but today y'all got hair instead of a wine glass. How about that? There's a trade-off. All right. Pearl, it's not too late, sweetie. Sherry, hang on one second. I want to read this one real quick, Pearl. Funny. Sherry said, funny, a spirit told you to interview people, just another job to do. I'm telling you, Sherry, I don't know why. I see you like Barbara Wawa. And we do need to chat soon, girls. So give me a call anytime during the day, okay? All right, Pearl, let's get you, baby. Let's see what we got. Miss Pearl, I've got a 37 for you, going to a 10 down to a 1. So it's all about Pearl. This is a reading all about Pearl. It's the Magician's Sword. It's confidence in your magic. It is inverted. So what are we going through here, sweet girl? We're going through feeling like you don't have the power to change things sometimes, right? Sometimes that rug gets pulled out from under us. And that's okay. Sometimes it needs to. In this sense, this is all about your son. I mean, this is all about you're slowly trying to figure out how do you balance yourself. You will. This is like a, God, how do I say this? Like being committed to a commitment. Committed in the sense of it's chaos, right? It's crazy. There's some separation that has to happen there. It's not physical separation. It is a need to be emotionally responsible for other people. You can't be. It's not your journey. And I think that's where this comes in. It's about emotional separation. You can separate from other people's journey without leaving them. Do you know what I mean? These are two different things. You can say, I see it. I'm right here for you. I'm witnessing all of it. I'm just not going to get on the ride with you. I can't, right? We both can't be on the crazy train here. So that's pretty much what it is. And there's a lot of change in this that comes in for you. And a lot of it's just about finding balance within your family, balance with how much you're taking on emotionally, physically, financially, everything. You've got to find balance, but you're going to get there. So just hang tight. It's coming slowly but surely. And I want you to call on your friends, because I think, Pearl, you have friends that would step up to the plate for you all day long if you will let them. I think you need to be out more with them. I think you need to be out in the world more doing things. I think you need to detach yourself a little bit more from everything that's been going on. And just kind of reclaim your peace a little bit, sweetie, because you've had a rough, I'd say the last 4 or 5 months, but it's time for this to finish. So get some healthy detachment in there, okay? It's all going to be all right there. You're on the tail end of it. Absolutely. Lord have mercy, guys. Anya, you are really welcome, sweetie. I really appreciate it. Dawn, you're so sorry to hear about the wine glasses. I'm telling you, I was crushed. You know, every day I used to look at the wine cabinet and be like, at the end of the day, there is a reward for Jennifer. Now there's no reward. It sucks. I need to buy some more, but I'm just not committed to it. I'm moving, by the way, in a couple weeks. So just next door to the next house. I'm lazy like that. I was trying to get back home to the South, but it ain't going to happen. Oh, goodness gracious, guys. Well, it's about that time I need to jump off. It has been great being with you guys. Pearl, I'm sorry your computer's freezing up. Everybody's has been. I love all of you guys, and I'm sorry that we need to go, but we have to. We're a little over time. So I'll just say thank all of you for being in. For all of my new folks, thanks so much for coming in and spending your time with us. For all of our regular, loyal, sweetheart people, we are so grateful every time y'all show up. We truly are. We love you. We can't do it without you. Since Victor won't be here tomorrow, the next show will be on Sunday. Okay, that'll be Wanda Callahan coming in on Sunday. Y'all all know how wild and crazy she is. So again, if you're new, sign up, go and like the page so you can get all the Upwork or network updates for the shows. Chrisley, you love the deck that I use. It's one of your favorite. It is pretty awesome, I have to say. I don't do tarot. I've never read tarot cards, but I've been pulling them lately for people because I know they need something to look at other than this mug. So love you. Good to see you guys and have an awesome week. Okay. Try to keep that energy up. If you can't, I don't know what to do. Get a flip flop. Just be careful.